I'm Lisa Marie. Welcome to my channel, Living My Best Life with Lisa Marie.
Today I'll be creating rustic, patriotic DIYs.
I am so glad you're here. Let's get crafting.
For this DIY, I saw a picture on Pinterest that really inspired me, so I'm going to take the tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. I'll use 15 to form the shape of a cross. I'm using my Arteza paint markers, and I am going to do 6 of them in blue, and I'm only going to paint the sides that we're going to see. I'll paint 4 of the blocks red, and then I'm going to leave the rest and stain those with the antique wax from Waverly. I'm going to apply the wax with a dry cloth so I only get a small amount on there, and then I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm going to dry everything off and make sure that it is not getting all over my hands so that I can hot glue the pieces together. I'm going to use my white Arteza paint marker, and I'm just going to make little stars. They're just really basic little stars. And because this is meant to be a rustic piece, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I am going to add a second coat because they just got absorbed right into that wood, and I wanted them to stand out just a little bit more. Now I'm going to take my hot glue and I'm going to start assembling my cross. And you'll see the pattern here. The stars will be to the left, and then the red and the stained pieces will be down the middle and to the right, like a flag. Now I'm just using hot glue, which is probably not the very best choice if you want something to last for a long time. So I would suggest wood glue or something very permanent if you are really concerned about this thing breaking. I'm going to be mounting it on a sign, and so I feel pretty good about that. But I just want to mention that if you were doing it all alone, I wouldn't just use hot glue for this. I have this super cute tin sign from the Dollar Tree, and it's got those kind of corrugated bends in it. And I'm going to leave the other side the way it was, and I'm going to put this on the back. That way I'll have a two-sided sign. I'm going to take my sanding sponge from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to start distressing my cross over the paint. I want to dull it down and make it look older. I'm also going to use the antique wax by Waverly and a little sponge, and I'm going to start dabbing that on as well to help age the look of this cross. I'm going to take my hot glue and I'm going to attach that cross right to the back of the sign, and feel free, like I said, to use something even more secure than hot glue. And then I'm doing a little reinforcement on the other side, and I don't want that plain wood sitting there, so I'm going to take my silver Arteza paint marker and I'm going to color that in so it kind of matches with the sign. And then I thought, well, this sign doesn't look as old and distressed or rustic, so I'm going to take that silver, I'm going to go around the edges, and then I'm going to put some on a paper towel and kind of rub it across the red and the blue just to give it a little bit of an older, worn look, as if some of that paint was scratched off. I'm going to remove the little jute twine hanger because I want to add some more aging or distressing to the sign. I'm going to take a little bit of my white Kills primer paint, and I'm just going to super lightly dry brush over all of the tin, and that's making it look older, and I really like that. And then I decided I think I'm going to do that over the cross because it looked so good on the tin that I wanted to add that same look to the cross itself. So I'm going to go ahead and dry brush the cross, wipe it off with a paper towel, and it's really starting to get that aged look that I like, and I love it. And for anyone who isn't familiar with dry brushing, you just put a little teeny bit of paint on your brush, wipe most of it off, and then drag it across the surface. And you just go back and forth until you get the look you want. You can wipe off the excess, you can add more, whatever you want. And then I'm going to come back in with the antique wax by Waverly and just make it look a little bit older and dirtier. And I think the combination of the white and the wax really, really created this rustic look that I was going for, and I'm super happy with it. I'm going to add back the little jute twine hanger, and this one's done. I love the way it turned out. I love that it's a two-sided sign, and I hope you guys really like it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I think this would be a very easy project to do. Today's video is a collaboration with my friend Megan at the Crafty Quinn. She has a really sweet channel. Megan does all kinds of farmhouse, coastal, shabby chic. I think she'd try just about anything. She's very talented, and I recommend that you definitely go visit her. I'll have her video link below as well as her channel. And if you've come over from Megan's channel, I just wanted to say hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I hope my channel is a fun place where you can come to be inspired to create something. I'd love it if you click the red subscribe button and turned on the notification bell. That way you'll always be notified when I have a new video ready for you to watch. I do all different decor styles on my channel, and there's something for everyone. If you like what you see, be sure to hit the like button and leave me a comment. We are one big crafty family here. For this DIY, I'm using 2 of the tall white candles from the Dollar Tree. I had already decorated one side of them, but I decided that they could have something on both sides. Now, I got these printables from my friend Heidi at Heidi Sonboul DIY. I will have a link down in my description so that you can get these free printables as well, and it'll be really fun to use. I've also got these little gloves I got at TJ Maxx. You'll see shortly how I create a little skirt for the candles with them. I'm going to decoupage the printables that I cut out from Heidi, and I'm going to put one on each of the candles, and they are so cute. They're little tags, and I love what they say. Everything about them is just so perfect for this DIY. And I'm going to put the Mod Podge underneath and then over the top, of course, as you would with any decoupaging. And then once that dries, I'm going to move on to the next step. Next, I'm going to take the little gloves that I got at TJ Maxx, and I'm going to cut off the hand part just above where the elastic is. And that way they can become little skirts. And I'm going to hot glue down the side so you don't see a rough edge, but you don't see that here in the video. I didn't include that. And now I'm just putting them on the bottom, and they're just kind of hanging off the edge there. Isn't that cute? Like a little skirt. I got this super cute red, white, and blue ribbon at Walmart, and I'm just going to wrap it around the top and hot glue it to the candle glass. I'll do this to both of my candles. To give these a more rustic feel, I'm going to take some of the very thin jute twine from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to hot glue it right around the edge of the printable. I think that's just going to frame it really nicely, and I'm going to do that on both of the candles with those printables. With a marker, I'm just going to add a little dot up at the top of the tag so it looks like it's a tag with a hole in it, and I made a super small shoestring bow out of that twine, and I did the same on both of them. Now, to further distress them, I'm going to take my Antique Wax by Waverly, and I'm going to dry brush all over not only the candles, but the printables, the ribbons, the little skirt at the bottom, every single part of this. I want it to look older, worn, like it's really antique. And once I finish with this, these are done, and they're so cute. This was very simple. This was a fun, easy DIY. Besides YouTube, feel free to connect with me over on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. Same name, Living My Best Life with Lisa Marie. I post all kinds of stuff on there behind the scenes and just what's going on in my day-to-day life. Hope to see you there. I found this pewter Cottle Pot at the thrift store for only $3. It is so cool, and I'm going to turn this into a patriotic rustic DIY. First, I'm going to clean it with some rubbing alcohol, and then I'm going to take my antique wax by Waverly, and I'm going to put that on the wooden handle. I'm going to cover the whole thing real well, and then I'm going to wipe off the excess with a paper towel. I was trying to bring the bottom of this up closer to the camera so you could see what it says, but I do think it actually might be an antique for real. It's super cool. I had to look up online and see what it was. I didn't even know what it was. I think they used to use it for butter and little sauces and things like that. Anyway, I'm going to take another one of those printables from Heidi Sonboul, and I'm going to take a paint lid, and I'm just going to cut the circle from the lid so that I have a small circle. I'm going to put some water on it because I want to make it more pliable to put on this kind of rounded Cottle Pot. And then of course that fades it a little, which is great, and I'm wiping it off with a paper towel. Now I'm going to get my decoupage out, and I'm going to put that right on the surface of the Cottle Pot, and then I will put my little round printable on there, and I'm just going to kind of smush it down with my fingers and then use some more decoupage over the top and wipe off the excess around the edges because I really don't want it all over the pot. I'm going to use my heat tool to try to dry it a little faster, and by the way, all of the tools I use are in my Amazon store linked below. Next, I'm going to take my antique wax by Waverly, and I'm just going to start dry brushing all over the outside of the Cottle Pot as well as the inside of the Cottle Pot. I want this to look super old and worn, and then I'm going to take a baby wipe and clean up the printable area a little bit because I have something I want to add to that, and I want you to be able to see it, and if I leave it super dark you won't be able to see it, but this gives me control over how much distressing I really can do. And if you're wondering about that brush, that is literally a makeup brush that I got at Dollar Tree, and it's super soft, and so when you go over it with the dry brushing, it comes out just perfect. Next, I'm going to take a red and a white carnation from the Dollar Tree. They were on a pick, and I'm going to use that same brush, and I'm going to kind of bunch up the flower, and I'm going to distress it with the Waverly Antique Wax. And I want those flowers to look like they're old too. Once I have both flowers and the leaves distressed, I'll cut them down and put them on the inside of the little pot. A YouTube friend of mine, her name is Susan from Miss Southern Belle, sent me this package of stickers along with some other fun things. I will leave her channel link in the description. And they look kind of antique, and there were numbers on this bingo card on them. So I found the numbers 1776, and I had to cut them out individually, and they're rub-on transfers. And I'm going to put them on the front of this printable, kind of sloppy, and it's just going to say 1776, and of course that's the year our country was founded. And there you go, very rustic, very fun, super easy DIY. Once all four of the numbers are on, I'm going to cover them with the Mod Podge so that they don't go anywhere. I love the way this one turned out, and I really hope you guys like it too. Definitely let me know down in the comments. And now for one last look at all three of our DIYs from today. They're all rustic, they're all patriotic, and they were super easy and fun to make. Don't forget to go check out the Crafty Quinn. Again, her links will all be down in the description box. I can't wait to see what she made with this theme. It's going to be so much fun, and I hope you guys loved all of them as much as I did making them. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the time that you take to watch my videos. It means so much. I will hope to see you in my next video, and please remember that you are a blessing to me.